Yeah.
Hi, this is Chronicles, and I'm your host, Simon Rushton. Today we have a nice lady who's just flown in from Sweden, and I'm going to let the lady tell her story. It's about Corona and her grandmother, and it's a positive thing. So, well, I suppose you could say it's positive. But anyway, nice to have you.
Thanks very much.
Okay, so tell me, you've been living in England. Tell us a bit about yourself. You don't have to say your name if you don't want to.
Yeah.
You've been living in England and...
Yeah, I've been living in the UK since 2013, and I live up north in Liverpool, and have been here since 2013. And I went to Sweden about 6 weeks ago. Because my nan fell ill with COVID, and I had to fly with quite short notice, only a couple of days, just because it wasn't looking very good for her, because she has diabetes, a really severe kind, and she also has a heart condition as well. So I traveled back there, not knowing if I was going to be able to see her. She went into the hospital, and on the first day when she fell ill, she went into the hospital, but she's made it. It's a positive story.
How long did it take for her to overcome it? Was it a week?
Well, she's she's only just come out of hospital now, so she's been fighting it for 6 weeks.
Oh, it's some time then.
It's quite a long time. So she was home, she was passing out, she was really dizzy.
Okay.
And then the ambulance took her into the hospital. She was confirmed with COVID on the same day. And then she's been quite drifting between being conscious. She's been so tired, really, really tired.
Yeah.
But she hasn't really had the cough. She's just been very nauseous and very dizzy. So she's been she's been quite ill, and it's been so horrible for us as well, because we've been wanting to talk to her, we've been wanting to support her, because she's just alone. She's just been alone in the hospital for all this time, and it's been so difficult to get through to her, because obviously the medicals, they have to get dressed in order to hand the phone over to her.
Mm-hmm.
And she's been tired and sleeping and everything, but she is now in a short-term care home, and I was able to see her just the other day before I was flying home now.
Okay.
And she's made it through. She's so tired, but she made it through.
How old is she?
She is 88.
Okay, so your gran's a real fighter then.
She's a true fighter. We honestly can't believe how she has managed to survive this.
She's a descendant of Ivan.
Yeah. if I am made of what she is made of, I'm hoping that I can live a pretty happy life and fight off this and that.
Yeah.
So
okay, that's good.
Yeah.
So on another note, how have you found living in England?
From just generally, or
just generally.
Yeah, I found it's been a love-hate relationship.
Go on.
Really, because I also moved to the UK for love as well.
Okay.
Because you were telling me about your friend before. So I moved there, to Manchester to live with my boyfriend, and we were together for about 6 years.
Okay.
And obviously living in Sweden and being in the UK, it's a very big
different lifestyle.
It's a different lifestyle. I'm being in Sweden, I'm very used to always having nature around the corner.
Mm-hmm.
And even in Stockholm, which is the capital, you always have, you can go swimming in the city centre. You always have
outside swimming?
Yeah, outside.
Really? That's cold. I've been to Stockholm.
It is cold, but it is cold, but it's so refreshing in the summers when it's really hot. So wherever you are in Sweden, even if you are in the in the capital, you always have nature really close by, and you spend a lot of time hanging out outside in the summers. And when I moved to Manchester, obviously Manchester is famous for its rainy weather, But the summer I moved there, it was the rainiest summer in Manchester history in like years and years. So it was pretty heavy to like handle that climate change. But at the same time, I really think people are so open, so lovely, and so friendly, and it's so much easier to have a conversation in the public spaces, as opposed to Sweden, which like where people are a bit more reserved.
Okay. Have you lived in London as well?
Not lived in London, no.
We're probably more like Sweden. We're a hostile bunch down here. You don't say hello, you don't ask us the time.
Yeah, no, I really love all the kind of northern women, like when you go to like Tesco and they're like, oh, you alright, love? And I really love that mentality in the north. It's super friendly and
it's proper Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones.
Yeah, it's a game.
The Northerners are a special bunch.
Yeah.
Their community bunch.
Yeah, I think, and especially if you're into music as well, because I'm into music and I work in music and I like play in bands and stuff. And when you're part of a music scene, I think it's so it's very welcoming. And Manchester is good, but I think Liverpool has such a friendly music scene where like a really strong community where everyone is supporting each other's projects.
So what kind of music are you into?
I'm into so many different kinds of music, like but maybe, probably like
band-wise,
psychedelic. Like I'm really into like Beach Boys, the more psychedelic stuff of Beach Boys. I'm into.
Okay. So you said you play in a band.
Yeah.
What instruments do you play?
I sing and I play the flute, and I also play like percussion during our gigs.
Oh, okay. All right.
So I really like the north, the music scene in the north. It's really vibrant and a lot of new bands coming, and it's very supportive as well.
Do you want to give a shout out to your band? What's your band?
Shout out to my band, the Fernway. It's called. The Fernway. It's
Can they be found on social media?
It's we have like we're on Facebook, we're on Instagram and Twitter and all of that. So it's such a shitty band name to have, really, because if you pronounce it, you don't know. Like, if you just tell it to someone, they don't know how to spell it because it's such a strange spelling.
That was my next thing.
And if you spell it, you don't know how to pronounce it.
So if you spell it for the listeners, so
it's the and then Fernway, which is spelled FERNWEH, and it's a German word. It means wanderlust.
Wanderlust. Yeah. Okay. So the Wanderlust band, flute playing, singing, and percussion.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. And it's good. That's. I'm not one of the songwriters in that band. I'm more kind of on like a session musician for that band. But it's quite folky. It's a mix between 60s pop and a bit psychedelic, and also with some folk music elements as well. So it's a blend of all those things.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for that. That was a great interview. Great to hear that your gran's a fighter.
Yeah.
Yeah. The true Viking came out in there, and she just hit Corona with the axe.
Yeah, she really hit Corona with the axe. So I'm so thankful.
It's a positive story in comparison to what we hear on the news all the time. There's always negativity.
Yeah. Have you heard? Have you had many passengers who had different stories to mine, with maybe like not so positive?
No, I've had some passengers. I had a passenger the other night who spoke of a friend of a brother of a cousin of a son.
Yeah. Who,
it's a bit like a pub story.
Yeah.
Who died or had it bad or da da da.
Yeah.
But I can't say. I haven't known anybody who's just copped it.
Yeah.
I've had people complain that their loved one died, but it wasn't of Corona, but the hospital put Corona on their death certificate.
Oh, right, okay.
And they were really upset with that because why are you lying about things, and that's not the case. But I think it also comes down to the fact if you know, if it's got the corona on there, you can't have that normal funeral or what have you, you know, buried in a pit kind of somewhere. So, but, you know, those are other people's stories. It's not mine. You know, praise God, I haven't had any.
Yeah, have you and your family been okay?
I've been okay. My brother, he's had 2 strokes and a stem cell. He's young, he's in his 30s, so they want to give him a heart transplant. So I'm concerned about that, but in the same sense, what will be, will be.
Yeah.
You know, in that respect. So that's my mindset.
How long has he been having his heart condition then?
I don't know. I've only just found out quite recently regarding that. But they put him in a hospital in northwest London where you can't get to, or no one's meant to visit you and all that. Yeah. And it's just, you know, suck it and see, wait and see in that respect.
Oh man, I'm sorry to hear that. Like you see, so he's in there now.
Yeah, he's in there now, so I call him every day, see how he's getting on. He's impressed with the facilities, so that's a good start. It's a morale boosting start for him. Yeah. You know, he said it's like a hotel. He's got his own bathroom en suite, all that kind of thing. But well, I said to him, they do give you that for a reason. You know, not kicking him ways down, but still. Yeah.
I'm sure he appreciates you calling.
Yeah. But on another note, to the listeners out there, I hope you like this episode, a positive story about Corona. It's not all bad. It seems like it depends on the person's personality, to how strong and thing they are, or, you know, that placebo effect and those kind of things. But enough about that. More about the sister podcast right now. Don't forget to listen. It's called Africa Investor Stories, all about reasons why people invest in Africa, and you hear real stories from real investors telling their experience of the good, the bad, the ugly, why they moved there. Most of the reasons are that Africa has the fastest growing economies on the planet, Ethiopia and Rwanda being in the top 2 amongst others. So feel free to give it a listen. And don't forget to like, subscribe and share. Thank you and have a nice day.